Good evening. My name is Sarita Brown, President of Excelencia in Education. And on behalf of everyone who has worked hard to make this evening possible, we welcome you to the 2020 Celebración de Excelencia. This is a year like none of us has ever seen. One is that we are bringing this annual event to you virtually. We are grateful to have the capacity and to have your commitment so that we could gather in this way together. Yet the reasons that we are social distancing and gathering through Zoom are heartbreaks. Our country is dealing with a pandemic. Every day we see the pain of the denial of justice, and we recognize that what we do in response is what we can control. What we choose to do with our energy, with our aspirations, and with our commitment. That's what each day when we wake up, we bring to the choices that we make. In that spirit, we are so grateful that all of you, the honorees that will be named in every fashion of Examples of Excelencia, the people with whom we are able to make common cause, and you all over the country who are choosing to give of your precious time to come together, to reach out, and to recognize that the spirit of continuity and commitment is what each of us has and each of us brings. At Excelencia in Education, we are strengthened and inspired by our board of directors, by our strong and growing Excelencia staff team, and by the spirit that we can conquer the challenges that each of us faces. Examples of Excelencia began as an idea, but it exists today as a robust portfolio because of what people have brought to it. Any of you who have ever been here in Washington, D.C., when we hold the Celebración de Excelencia, know that I have a pretty standard line. That line is, good ideas need solid support. And that is the case, because while the idea of recognizing people who are able to be strategic in the use of their energies to support students who seek their higher education and who you help make sure that they graduate, it's a good idea. But it would have remained just an idea if there hadn't been people who had stepped forward to invest in that idea. These are our sponsors, and our sponsors are the people who help us move from idea to reality. We are so grateful to the 2020 sponsors for Examples of Excelencia, the ACT Center for Equity and Learning, Ad Astra, the Trellis Foundation, Coca-Cola, Pepco, Walmart, Facebook, and our long-standing partner, Diverse Issues in Higher Education. Our commitment, their investment, and what we do together is the backbone of Examples of Excelencia. It is now my pleasure to introduce mi colega, co-founder of Excelencia in Education, and today's CEO, Deborah Santiago.
Thank you, Sarita. I want to build on what you shared because we started Examples of Excelencia 15 years ago. Excelencia is 16 years old. 15 years ago, and back then, discussions about Latinos, if they were had at all, were very deficit-based and deficit-oriented. Sarita and I created Excelencia because we rejected that deficit perspective. We work in our community, and we know there are so many committed and effective leaders and practices around the country making a difference every day for students in our community. And we believe when you see a need, you have a choice. You can be passive or you can take action. As two people with a common cause, we decided to take action and therefore created Examples of Excelencia. We know the numbers of those who are making a positive difference continues to grow. Over the last 15 years, we have recognized more than 300 programs and invested close to $2 million through our own fundraising to support and catalyze successful efforts. While we know it's just a drop in the bucket, we're committed to doing our part to support these programs and our community. We know we have a responsibility to learn from, bring attention to, and invest in the efforts of those making a difference so that they can continue to strengthen, grow, and expand their efforts. For the 2020 Examples of Excelencia, we began in February with a national call for nominations. We received 226 nominations from 30 states, DC, and Puerto Rico. We have to give a special shout out to our team, especially Jesse Hernandez Reyes, Carolina Reyes, and Adriana Rodriguez, who read every single program profile that was submitted and continue to reach out to all of you. We also want to bring attention to our constituency engagement team, Jose Saavedra and Claudia Hernandez Ponce, who are ensuring our community of common cause is connected through a network. We had the challenging task of selecting 20 programs among the many impactful programs that were shared with us. And I can tell you the tenacity and commitment we have on college campuses today and in communities around the country, from those we learned about, shows the vast commitment to the common cause of our student success. From our perspective, any one of the 20 examples finalists could represent as the example of Excelencia in their category. So we didn't want to make that decision ourselves. We were grateful to hand off that responsibility of selecting the 2020 Examples of Excelencia from among these robust, powerful finalists at the associate, baccalaureate, graduate, and community-based organization level to a national selection committee composed of partners and experts who were generous enough to make the difficult decisions in selecting the 4 programs we are recognizing today. We have included the information about our selection committee on our website, and we hope that you'll join us, and they are joining us in taking a look at this virtual celebration, given their hard work. So let's get going with it. Let's begin by highlighting some of these programs that stood out in 2020. The first program we are recognizing today as an example of excelencia at the associate level is Mi Casa Su Casa from Lone Star College, North Harris in Texas. Mi Casa Su Casa connects Hispanic community college students to the local campus community, acclimates them to the rigors of academic life, helps them succeed for the duration of their college career, and prepares them to achieve in college and beyond. Before I share any more about the program, let's hear from the students Mi Casa Su Casa serves.
Lone Star is probably one of the best choices that I've done in my life, because before I even started, before I heard that they were offering a bachelor's program here at Lone Star, I wasn't even thinking about, getting another degree besides my associates. I was just thinking about, going to school, getting my associates, and getting out there in the work field. But now that, they're offering a bachelor's program at an affordable price, a lot cheaper than, you would at UT, A&M, or Baylor, or all these other schools, it's almost the same tuition rate as you would have gotten, taking your basics here at Lone Star. And so I'm really grateful for that. Being a college student, it's money's tight, and especially now, especially with COVID and people being tight on work. So Lone Star, I'm going to say Lone Star has impacted me in a way that no other institution can. And I think that Lone Star now has been, put up there as, to set the bar for the other community colleges.
I am a recent graduate from Lone Star College in North Harris, and I graduated with web design. And I had the privilege of being a part of the Title V multimedia studio on campus. My mentor, Mr. McDonald, was invaluable for setting high expectations, being a wealth of knowledge and experience, and creating a professional environment that has prepared me for a new career. He allows the students to take ownership of their projects and create their own job descriptions. This has allowed me to learn quickly what I wanted to do as a career, and which I hadn't really gotten from any other course.
I'm a recent graduate from Lone Star Community College, where I earned an Associate of Science degree in web design. I changed my major more than once while pursuing my education. It wasn't until I landed in the web design program that I found what it is I'm passionate about. I found what I want to do every day. My time in the multimedia studio gave me the confidence in my skills that were just a hobby before. Now, I have 2 very flexible jobs, working for people I admire and doing something I adore. I can now support myself and my 2 sons while doing something that I would be doing in my free time anyway. Thank you for the opportunity.
Hearing from students directly how Mi Casa Su Casa is making a positive difference tells us all we really need to know. But you should know that I love data. So I wanted to share just one data point that stood out to me in the evidence of effectiveness. In fall 2019, 68% of Latino program participants persisted to their second year. In comparison, the institutional average for second year retention is 50%, and the overall program average is 60% for first to second year retention of students. This program shows evidence of accelerating Latino student success while increasing success for all students they serve. And retention is a critical way of going from one year to the next and showing persistence to completion. We reached out to bring attention to Mi Casa Su Casa's important work, and some leaders wanted to share their congratulations with you.
On behalf of Walmart, I want to congratulate Sarita Brown and Deborah Santiago for 15 years of excellence in education. To date, Sarita, Deborah, and their team have recognized over 200 programs that have in fact accelerated Latino student success in higher education for countless individuals. Congratulations to tonight's honorees. It is now my distinct honor to introduce Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. The Congresswoman is an influential and forceful voice in Washington. She is serving her 13th term as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, representing the 18th Congressional District of Texas. Considered by many as the voice of reason, she is dedicated to upholding the constitutional rights of all people. I leave with you, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee.
I did not want to miss the opportunity to acknowledge the Mi Casa Su Casa. It extends a helping hand to students. It connects students with the campus of Lone Star College, North Harris, to acclimate them to the rigors of education, helps them succeed and self-improve, and for the long duration of college. College education is a helping hand. It's a stair steps to opportunity and success. I'm excited about the Mi Casa Su Casa program. I congratulate everyone at Lone Star North Harris. Keep on providing an opportunity for leadership, success, and the power of education. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
It's important that others know of the good work that is being done day in and day out by those committed to their students, communities, and families. Representing the many who are making a difference from Mi Casa Su Casa to accept the recognition as the 2020 Example of Excelencia at the associate level is Laura Yanuzzi, Vice President of Instruction at Lone Star College, North Harris. Laura?
Good evening. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Lone Star College, North Harris, we just want to say thank you to Excelencia for creating this amazing platform that allows us to share and learn from one another to best support our Latino students. And thank you for recognizing and celebrating the great things happening in our Mi Casa program. We also want to congratulate the other finalists tonight. It is an honor to be listed alongside you and have the chance to learn about the great work that you're doing in your communities. And I also want to take a moment to publicly thank and congratulate my incredible colleagues here at North Harris who work every day to support the success of our students and our community. Thank you.
Laura, thank you. Thank you and your team for your continued efforts to improve Latino student success through Mi Casa Su Casa at Lone Star College. Moving along, the program being recognized as the 2020 Example of Excelencia at the baccalaureate level is Arizona's Science, Engineering, and Math Scholars ASIMS program at the University of Arizona. ASIM provides support services toward graduation for underrepresented majority Latino undergraduate STEM majors. Before I share any more about this program, let's hear from some students that are being served at the ASIMS.
ASIMS offers peer mentorship from older students in the program to help guide a first-year student's personal and academic success. It's hard to find somewhere you feel like you belong in a new big environment, especially in STEM classes where there aren't a lot of people that look like you. And I'm really grateful that I was able to be a peer mentor.
And it's really important to have, upperclassmen friends when you're freshman and sophomore because they kind of show you the ropes. But as a first generation student, it's even more important. Everyone comes from a different part of life. Everyone comes with different experiences and different backgrounds. And they tell us to not necessarily hide that, but to use that.
They were always there to help us navigate the university as a whole or in the courses, and specifically relating to a STEM major. It was super important for us to network with not only the professors but other students. Without ASIMS, my undergrad would have been a lot more difficult. So I ended up being accepted into 4 out of 5 graduate programs, PhD programs that I applied to, and I'm currently attending Harvard University. There's no words to describe how impactful they have been in my life, and for that I'm always going to be thankful to them.
It's clear from students that the investment by ASIMS to serve their Latino students amongst all STEM students is making a difference. Let me share a little bit more about ASIMS, again with the idea of sharing just a little bit of the evidence of effectiveness. I would note of fall 2015, first-time Latino freshmen, this cohort, served in the program, 93% were retained to their 4th year, and 81% of students remained STEM majors. Now, that is significantly higher than the retention rate we see nationally and at many other universities enrolling Latinos in STEM majors. That is amongst other data that we know, but we also tried to reach out to bring attention to ASIM's important work, and some leaders wanted to share their congratulations with you as well.
It is indeed my pleasure to join you this evening to recognize the many organizations and institutions that make a difference in the lives of Latino students every single day. ACT has been a long-time partner and friend of Excelencia in Education, and it is indeed our honor to join you this evening as a supporter of the Examples of Excelencia. It is also my privilege to introduce this evening Senator Martha McSally. Senator McSally is a thoughtful leader that is committed to educational success for all. She worked tirelessly to make sure that $288 million was available through the CARES Act for colleges and universities in the state of Arizona so that they might provide distance learning and digital education. Please join me in welcoming Senator McSally. Senator, I turn it to you.
I wanted to congratulate Arizona's Science, Engineering, and Math Scholars Program at the U of A. Your dedication to students pursuing a STEM education is inspiring, especially as many of your students are often underrepresented in STEM fields. STEM touches nearly every part of our lives, drives innovation, and prepares individuals for careers in rapidly growing industries. Congratulations on the recognition of your incredibly important work to provide students with personalized and proactive aid that allows them to excel in every aspect of their lives. Stay safe and take care in all you do.
Representing the many who are making a difference from ASIMS to accept the recognition as the 2020 Example of Excelencia at the baccalaureate level is Kimberly Sierra Cajas, Director, ASIMS Program. Kimberly?
Thank you very much, Excelencia, for this honor. We are so grateful. I wanted to thank a few people because it really does take a village. Thank you to Jen Fields and Marla Franco and Priscilla Ayala for nominating us. Thank you to my co-founders who have worked so hard since 2011 when we launched this program, and because we knew that our ASIM scholars had the talents and the skills to succeed in STEM. And thank you to our incredible staff, this group of women who are so intelligent and innovative. They continue to grow and evolve the program. That's Fatima Soto Herrera, Erica Encinas, Maya Azi, Teresa Sosa, Rel Olson, Lupita Mendez, Emma Fajardo. Thank you again to my co-founders, who I forgot to mention. It's Dr. Franz Tax, Dr. Ramin Yadagari, Nura Diwali, Cindy Neal, and Amanda Ferraris. Thank you to the College of Science, the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, the College of Engineering, and the Research Innovation and Impact Unit, because they continue to help us keep running the program by funding us. And thank you especially to my family and my kids, Adeline and Isaac, because without their support, I wouldn't be able to do this work. And we have so many graduates now who are supporting their families and doing great work in their communities. So that is what we're most grateful for. Thank you.
Kimberly, thank you. Thank you and your team for your continued efforts to improve Latino student success through ASIMS at U of Arizona. It's great. I want to continue on with the graduate level. And I will say that there's so much good work going on here. I hope that you will pay attention to not just the short snippets here, but follow up with these colleagues. They're just doing really amazing work. But when I get to the graduate level, the program being recognized as the 2020 Example of Excelencia at the graduate level is the LATINX Leadership Initiative at Boston College School of Social Work in Massachusetts. The LATINX Leadership Initiative trains and supports Latino, bilingual, MSW, and PhD students to transform how the social work profession works with Latinx communities in the United States. Before I share any more with my data point about the LATINX Leadership Initiative, let's hear from the students the program serves.
I came into this program with a lot of baggage and plenty of self-doubt. I wasn't sure I belonged here or if I brought anything of value to the table, but the LLI has changed that for me. This program has provided me with the space, the guidance, and support to explore more than academics. It has allowed me to explore different aspects of myself, my identity, and the role that I play in my community as a mother, neighbor, future social worker, or potential leader. For the first time, I feel seen, heard, and even celebrated, and I've never gotten that anywhere else.
The LLI provided me with the skills and training necessary for me to thrive as a social worker, but it also gave me a great community and support. My career start in international development was also thanks to the LLI, and I plan to keep working in development programs that provide resources and opportunities to Latinx communities in the United States and in Latin America.
I came to the U.S. When I was 3 years old. And I was raised by a strong Latina mother in a single parent household in an enclave of Boston. And for a long time, I struggled with my Latinidad as I navigated two different worlds, two different cultures. I was the first to go to college and the first to enroll in graduate school. And I'm happy to share that I am a third year full-time MBA MSW candidate at Boston College. The Latinx Leadership Initiative really helped me to look introspectively, reclaim my identities, reclaim and rewrite my narrative so that I have the power and the agency to be the change that I want to see.
Too few Latinx and bilingual social workers are being prepared for our community's needs. It's clear from students that the Latinx Leadership Initiative is making a difference. Let me share just a little bit of personal privilege and some of their evidence of effectiveness. The initiative has a network of 148 Latino alumni across 23 states that support current students as advisors and mentors. That's on top of everything that's being done. Of program graduates, 100% have secured full-time positions, and many are now in leadership positions, informing practice and serving their community. That's a sign of the value, the impact, and the need for the work at the Latinx Leadership Initiative. We reached out to bring attention to this critical program and their important work with some leaders, and they wanted to share some congratulations with you.
Good evening. We salute Excelencia in Education for your critically important work and mission in advancing Latinx student success, enhancing our workforce, leadership, and economy. It's now my honor to introduce Congressman Joe Kennedy III. Currently in his 4th term in Congress, he's a member of the influential House Energy and Commerce Committee. He's also been a staunch ally of the Latino community, from including Latina and Latino organizers from around the Boston area as close advisors, to being an advocate on immigration reform and humane immigration practices, including safeguarding DACA, temporary protected status, and our humanitarian and asylum remedies. We appreciate your work to defend the rights of children, of immigrants, and so many others. It's an honor to introduce Congressman Joe Kennedy.
Hi everyone, I'm Congressman Joe Kennedy. I'm so sorry that I couldn't celebrate with you in person, but I'm honored to play a small role in congratulating you on this well-earned award. By investing in Latinx students, the Latinx Leadership Initiative is working to elevate and support a new generation of leaders for our Commonwealth and our country. To all of the staff and students who worked day and night to support LLI's mission, congratulations on this extraordinary recognition. I can't wait to celebrate with you all soon. Congrats.
Good evening from
Representing the many who are making a difference from the Latinx Leadership Initiative to accept the recognition as the 2020 Example of Excelencia at the graduate level is Rocio Calvo, Founding Director, Latinx Leadership Initiative. Rocio?
Good evening from Boston College. Thank you very much, Excelencia in Education, for this award. I'm honored to accept it on behalf of the Latinx Leadership Initiative, or how it is best known, the LLI. There are too many people that deserve a big thank you for their unconditional support to the LLI over the years. Unfortunately, I don't have time to name each of you, but you know who you are, familia. Million thanks for always being there. I know you are watching. Let me thank the most important part of the LLI, the students. There are not adequate words to convey how thankful I am for each and every one of you. In this time of uncertainty, when sometimes it is really difficult to find hope, I see what you do every day in the classroom and in the community. And I know there is a bright future ahead of us because you are leading it. Thank you very much.
Rocio, thank you and your team for your continued efforts to improve Latino student success through the LLI at Boston College. It really does make a difference. It's something that so many more departments can be paying attention to, and schools can make a difference. Last but certainly not least is the community-based organization level in recognition for Examples of Excelencia. The program being recognized as a 2020 Example of Excelencia at the community-based organization level is the Scholar Program at Generation Hope in Washington, D.C. The Scholar Program empowers teen parents, a majority of whom are Latino, to attain a college degree, professional success, and economic stability by providing mentoring, emotional support, and financial resources needed for them to thrive in college, thereby driving a two-generation solution to poverty. Before I share any more about the program, let's also hear from students who are served by the Scholar Program at Generation Hope.
I was 18 years old when I first had my son. I never thought college would be possible for me because I am a DACA recipient. I heard about Generation Hope through a family member, and it's the best decision I ever made. They provide me with the best coach, they provide me with the best mentor, and they provide me with the best tutoring.
In my family, I've been the only person, the only teen parent, and in my friends group, I'm the only person with a child. So it's just like, you know, I feel like certain things they don't understand what I'm going through, but Generation Hope does. They really try to clear your path so that you are able to walk the path of success and are able to obtain your degree.
When searching for resources to help pay for college, I found Generation Hope. I was shocked to find an organization where I felt I truly fit in. When I went for my Generation Hope interview, I met Caroline Griswold Short, our Director of Programming. At the end of the interview, she asked me, "What's the hardest thing you're facing?" The question stopped me in my tracks. Up until then, I had kept the secret of my divorce from my family and friends. I had been judged about being a teen mom, and now I was afraid of being judged for this too. But after a long and difficult pause, I broke down and shared publicly for the first time that I was getting a divorce. Caroline, a stranger at the time, looked at me without judgment. She simply reached over and gave me a hug. That experience is a perfect illustration of what Generation Hope does for young parents. It's about so much more than a college degree. Initially, as a single mother, I felt defeated. But with each obstacle I overcame, I realized that I am strong, resilient, and most importantly, worthy of self-respect.
Advancing and advocating for students who are also parents is too often an afterthought, but not with the Scholars Program at Generation Hope. They are leading the way in what is possible for serving our Latino student parents amongst all they serve. I have to seize the opportunity to just one more time share a little bit of data about their powerful and effective work, and that we all believe can serve as a model to so many others looking to serve our students who are also parents. Of Latino program participants, 59% graduate college within 6 years, and 90% persist through their first year of college. In comparison, nationally, only 50% of Latino college students graduate within 6 years, and 71% persist through their first year of college. And these are teen parents. So even more impressive when you think about those data. We reached out to bring attention to the Scholars Program at Generation Hope as well, to share with some leaders, and they wanted to share in turn their congratulations with you.
We are so honored to be part of this incredible celebration tonight. We are particularly excited that one of our longstanding partners, Generation Hope here in the district, is this year's 2020 Example of Excelencia honoree for the community-based organization category for its exemplary scholars program. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Representative Eleanor Holmes Norton, the District of Columbia's representative in the United States Congress. Congresswoman Norton has served in Congress for 15 terms and has been a champion of social and racial justice, economic equity, and educational opportunity throughout her tenure. She has advanced legislation to make the district the 51st state, to increase home ownership for all district residents, and to provide students in the District of Columbia up to $10,000 a year to attend any public U.S. college or university, among so many other accomplishments. She brings to her position years of experience as a civil rights leader, as the first woman to serve on the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and as an educator. So we at PEPCO, we are so appreciative of all that she has done and continues to do for our communities. And I am so privileged to call Eleanor Holmes Norton my Congresswoman, and honored to introduce her this evening. Thank you.
It is a privilege to recognize the Generation Hope Scholar Program for being selected as a 2020 Example of Excelencia in the community-based organization category. The Generation Hope Scholar Program empowers DC teen parents, a majority of whom are Latino, to attain college, professional success, and economic stability by providing mentoring, case management, career readiness support, mental health services, and emergency funding. I commend the Generation Hope Scholar Program for making a real difference in our community, and I wish you much success as you accept this very well-deserved national recognition. Thank you for all you do.
Representing the many who are making a difference from the Scholars Program at Generation Hope to accept the recognition as the 2020 Example of Excelencia at the community-based organization level is Nicole Lynn Lewis, founder and CEO of Generation Hope. Nicole?
Good evening, buenas noches. I'm so proud to accept this award on behalf of my incredible team at Generation Hope and on behalf of our amazing Latino scholars who are all teen parents with such inspiring stories. They enrich every institution that they attend. At Generation Hope, we believe that students thrive when they feel seen and heard and when they have the supports that are responsive to their lived experiences. And this is particularly important for Latino parenting students who face so many obstacles to degree attainment and often feel invisible on their campuses. Every day, Generation Hope helps our scholars and their children navigate systemic barriers and achieve their dreams. But we know there are millions more across the country. In fact, 1 in 5 college students is parenting, including 21% of all Latino college students. We're building our direct work with student parents by creating a policy and advocacy agenda and providing technical assistance, tools, and resources to help colleges and universities across the country better improve outcomes for student parents. We cannot thank you enough for this honor. We are grateful to be a part of the Excelencia in Education community, learning from and working alongside so many other fantastic organizations and leaders who are committed to expanding post-secondary completion for Latino students. Thank you.
Nicole, thank you. Thank you and your team for your continued efforts to improve Latino student success through the Scholars Program at Generation Hope, especially here in Washington, D.C. So we know there are so many effective programs serving our communities, providing, and knowing that creates an energy to persist and advocate for our community. To learn more about these programs, we've compiled our annual What Works for Latino Students in Higher Education compendium, which I have right in front of me here. It is available on our website, and we hope you will all get a chance to take a look. We also have our Growing Works database, a free online database with many programs that we've recognized over the last 15 years, available for those that would like to learn about other efforts making a positive difference for Latino students. From our perspective, there's no excuse for not taking action and serving our community. People are doing it around the country, and you can learn from them. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. As you consider what you can do in your community and campus, we wanted to take a moment to recognize the other evidence-based programs that were finalists for Examples of 2020. We share because we know they were all part of our community of common cause. And as I shared earlier, they're all wonderful, amazing programs that we believe are worth not just awareness and attention, but consideration, investment, support for the work they're doing. So if you will indulge me, I want to share the names of those programs overall. At the associate level, the following programs are leading the way in Latino student success with their evidence of effectiveness. Alamo Advise, that's housed at Alamo Colleges District in San Antonio, Texas. Ambiciones at Howard Community College in Maryland. San Antonio College Honors Academy Program at San Antonio College in Texas. The School of Science STEM Research Institute at Miami-Dade College in Florida. And the Math Tutorial Lab at Santa Barbara City College in California. At the baccalaureate level, the following programs are leading the way in improving Latino student success. Access College and Excel ACE Scholar Program at University of Arizona in Arizona. Center for Educational Partnerships at California State University, California. Compact Scholars Program at San Diego State University in California. Personalized Achievement Contract PACT Program at Mercy College in New York. And University of Albany Educational Opportunity Program, EOP, at the University of Albany in New York. At the graduate level, the following programs are leading the way in improving Latino student success. A master's in school psychology at the University of Texas at San Antonio in Texas. And the program in medical education for Latino community, Prime LC, at the University of California, Irvine in California. And at the community-based organization level, the following programs are part of this community of common cause, making a difference every day for students. The College Success Program at Hyde Square Task Force in Massachusetts. Grad Cafe at Project Grad in Houston, Texas. Noble College Access and Success Program at Noble Network Charter Schools in Illinois. And the UTA University Crossroads at the University of Texas at Arlington in Texas. Thank you all for your efforts. You are a valuable part of our shared community of common cause for Latino student success. Please join us live so that we can all be together and take a virtual screenshot. Great. Thank you all. Normally we would have done this in person and we'd had a wonderful shot, everybody together. Let's see how close we got there. These 20 programs are among the trend-setting evidence-based programs from around the country, making a positive difference for Latino students, their families, and their communities. We've also recognized some programs to watch that are being innovative and might be relatively new that are making a difference. We hope you'll take a look at our website and at the compendium for them as well. We are grateful for what you do to make a positive difference in the lives of your students every day. And our commitment to you at Excelencia is to continue to bring attention to these powerful efforts, leverage their powerful impact, and advocate on your behalf as you advocate for the students, families, and communities that you serve. Please learn more about what we're doing and consider, if you haven't registered, to the ALAS Institute, where we will actually talk more shop and we'll talk about what these powerful programs at Examples of Excelencia for 2020 are doing to make a difference for their students. Sarita, I want to hand the mic back to you.
Thank you, Deborah. And again, odd that it may feel like, we have to give each other a round of applause. We have to say, órale, bien hecho. But this is exactly why we do Celebración de Excelencia. To be able, even if it's this way, to recognize what you do, and because of what you do, what thousands of students across this country are able to accomplish, the energy that they are able to unleash and propel the kinds of things, the dreams, the aspirations that they have when they enter your campuses. That's what this is all about. Each year we do this, we build on it, we reinvent. Obviously, we're reinventing right now in front of you the virtual format, and we do it in concert with many, among them the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. If you've had a chance to visit the actual landing page for this event, you've seen not only the reference to the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, but perhaps some of you have actually opened up the letter that we have from the chair of the caucus, Joaquin Castro. In creating this tradition, part of Hispanic Heritage Month in the nation's capital, we are always very intentional about how to fill it with not only the spirit, not only the evidence, not only the aspirations, but with the broad spectrum of sectors that are involved and committed to the future of this country, and that they do this work recognizing that student success, and within that, the growing Latino community's success is essential. It has been a source of great delight and inspiration to ponder each year, who would we choose to be the person who brings remarks? If you look at the record of our doing these events, we've chosen from lots of different sectors. When this gentleman assumed his current leadership role, we knew that he had to be the person that we would bring common cause to this event. What we didn't know is that we'd be doing it in the middle of a pandemic. Leadership is essential. We are so honored to be able to introduce to you this evening's keynote speaker. He is a scholar, a teacher, an administrator, having held leadership roles at several institutions, and he has been in the public sector as a cabinet secretary for the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. I am talking about the Chancellor of the City University of New York, Felix Matos Rodriguez. He has, when he assumed his position, took on the vibrance of a CUNY system. But what he has done since he's been in the position is steered it safely through what this whole country is experiencing. He's done it with a big heart. He's done it with his finger always on the pulse of his campus's communities, and he's done it with an eye towards the future that inspires us all. Chancellor Rodriguez, please address the 2020 Celebración de Excelencia.
Thank you so much, Sarita, and thank you for that very, very kind and generous introduction, and a big hug to you, a big hug to Deborah Santiago, mis dos hermanas del alma, and to the entire Excelencia family. At this time in which we celebrate such inspiring examples of colleagues in higher education who are making the difference. I was inspired, even though I had a little hunch of who the winners were going to be prior to the announcement, reading about the work that they're doing. But today, listening and watching to those videos with the students and seeing those faculty members, those staff members, the pride and the commitment that they have in the work that they're doing, I'm telling you that I am very inspired, and I thank Sarita for inviting me over to be with you today, because we all need that inspiration and that energy, particularly in these times that are difficult in so many ways. So congratulations to the winners, to our friends at Lone Star College, at the University of Arizona, at Boston College and Generation Hope. Congratulations. Verdaderamente ejemplos que inspiran y dan esperanza para el futuro. As I was listening to the examples, I remember a younger version of myself, a lot more hair, less gray hair, also at the time teaching at Northeastern, very close to where Boston College is. I was teaching Latin American and Caribbean history, and having my Latino students come to me and say, would you consider teaching a class in Latino history, because nobody's teaching that here at Northeastern. And that began a journey for me in my own teaching and my scholarship, again, focus on listening to what the students needed. And so I connect so much today with the stories from the students and from all those colleagues who are so very close to the student, listening to their needs and creating programs that respond to their necessities. I left Northeastern in part because I wanted to go to a place that was committed to Latino success. I left Northeastern to go to Hunter College to direct the Center for Puerto Rican Studies, because CUNY had created the only center dedicated to the Puerto Rican experience in the United States. And to me, that was a signal of the kind of dedication and intentionality that is needed to be able to succeed and to have Latinos of all kinds to succeed. That story with me and CUNY continued when I was privileged and honored to serve as the president of Hostos Community College in the South Bronx, as college that was created as a result of the activism, of the empuje, of the ganas, of the Puerto Rican, Dominican, Latino community with other partners in New York who said, if higher ed is the answer, how come there's no higher ed presence in the South Bronx? And they fought and created one of the most vibrant community colleges that we have in the country today. And I was so honored to come after working with the governor in Puerto Rico to serve as president of Hostos back in 2009. So this history of CUNY's commitment to Latinos and its success is one of the reasons why I'm so proud to be the chancellor of CUNY. I can give you many other examples in which we either been intentional with the creation, for example, of the only center for Dominican studies in the country, or other initiatives that might not be Latino specific, but we know are geared and targeted to supporting our Latino students. Latino students at CUNY make about 30% of our entire student body, and we are a large university. We have 275,000 students. And they are very, very key element in our faculty and our staff also. So as I listen to all these inspiring examples that we heard about today, and that for many years, that Excelencia has been documented as an administrator, has been someone who has gone to the examples, the yearly examples that Excelencia puts together about addressing different kinds of issues and challenges, and how to find examples to do, like Deborah said, not to reinvent the wheel. Or I have told members of my team to go into that database and look for examples when we've been working on a grant or thinking about how are we going to be helpful to our Latino students. It's been a challenging first year as chancellor with COVID hitting New York in the way that it has. But I want to thank you, because I leave the celebration today a much more inspired man by all the examples that I heard, by all the dedication, because many of you are also doing this in circumstances that are not ideal and are difficult. So I commend you for it. I thank you for inspiring me. And you have the commitment that my role in this community that has been so supportive to Latino and to Latino success is to take the bar even higher, to do even more for our students in our community, to be a partner to those of you who are out there trying to figure this out, to also learn from you. So again, this is a night of celebration, una noche de alegría, una noche de inspiración. And so I want to thank Sarita and Deborah again for the invitation. This is the injection of energy that I needed for this week. And I congratulate all the winners and all of you who also participated in the process of selecting the winners. So felicidades, éxito, and you know that you have a friend, you have a fan, and a partner at the City University of New York. So felicidades and take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. I don't think I'm ever going to tire of saying that. It is truly, truly not to have heard you, to have felt your warmth, to have been in your company. Again, this is not the way any of us thought it would be, but to be in each other's company. That's fundamentally what this evening is about. And while there is de cariño and clearly of enormous respect, it's also about strength. The strength that we know we have. If there's been anything that's been true about these years with Excelencia in education, it has been the ongoing discussion about the growth of the Latino community. We're in the middle of a census. We talk a great deal about the numbers of Latinos, the numbers of Latino children in the K-12 system, the numbers of Latinos that are here in this country. And we're not talking about immigration. We're talking about people who were born in this country, who were raised in this country. And all of that is a source of energy, and it is a source of strength. That's what this evening is about. It is also about the future, because what each of us is doing is supporting students whose own futures are through colleges and universities. Because of what all of the examples of Excelencia do, those who nominate, those who watch, those who care, what we see is a pathway of opportunity. In this year, a year like none of us has ever experienced, what we do, what each of us does, and what we do together, that is what Celebración de Excelencia is about. And in that spirit of keeping our eye on the future, I would like you to hear from Ad Astra and Tom Shaver, its CEO. Tom, his wife, his team are new to the Excelencia family, and they are a first-time sponsor. I'll turn things over to Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom Shaver. I'm founder and CEO here at Ad Astra, and we're so honored to be a sponsor this year for ALAS and the Examples of Excelencia. What we do at Ad Astra is we really value the opportunity for students to be first valued, educated, and then through that process of education really be transformed. And we felt like this was an obvious fit for us, really partnering with Excelencia, learning about the Latino students and the post-traditional students and how to help partner with institutions to improve on student outcomes. For us, that means really coordinating with the chief academic officer, the academic units, and bringing together their curriculum, their credentials, their courses through a schedule that accelerates degree velocity, improves retention and completions. We look forward to learning more, and we really encourage our peers, other vendors, and other industry thought leaders to join Excelencia in supporting them because we feel like they're the experts in really what it means to meet the needs of the post-traditional student for our industry to fulfill its mission of graduating students and transforming lives. Thanks again.
Thank you, Tom, for your commitment to stay with us as we go forward. The reason that we want to elevate this evening's efforts to celebrate all of the examples of Excelencia and to underscore that we want them to stay strong. We want them to have the capacity to serve the students of today and the students of tomorrow. In this moment, we underscore that the recognized programs, we're doing this work without Excelencia in education. Our role here is to curate for those who care about the future, for those who say, I want to find solutions, they're here, and to find the people with the courage and the commitment even in the middle of a pandemic, even when we are dealing with turmoil like few of us have ever experienced, they stay true. They are the support for students whose future will not wait. This is their moment. And we are here to work with them because their energies, their contributions are what all of us need. In the spirit of our common cause, which is that we will pave the way for the talent of this country to move through this time of uncertainty into the future that will be strong and vibrant, filled with our graduates. I want to say on behalf of Excelencia in Education, we are proud to be in your company. Felicidades to all of the examples of Excelencia, to Chancellor Rodriguez for being with us on this very special event, and to all of you who have taken time from your busy lives to come together this way, but hopefully to have it rest in our hearts, stay in our minds, and that we feel that we are a community. All we have to do is reach out. Let's stay connected, stay strong, and most importantly, stay involved. We will build the future. Muchísimas gracias.